What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please subscribe. That really helps us. And you can like the channel, but definitely subscribe. It's free. The button's right down there. Now, today we have the honor and privilege of being joined by a person I'm a big fan of, been following her for a long time, and glad to reconnect. Nonchalant, thanks for coming through.
Soren, it's so good to see you. I mean, I appreciate you hollering at me. When I got the call, I was like, what? This is wonderful.
I know. Shout out to Chris Thomas uh, and Tony for making it happen, and very excited that they reconnected us, man. It's a beautiful thing. And Nonchalant, of course, we got a lot of history to talk about, but for those that don't know, more especially very recently, you have the Salt song with Ohini. So explain for those who haven't heard it what the song is and how it came about.
So Ohini Savant is an incredible artist who is I'll let you go on that journey. Just Google the name, and I'm talking to the audience. Just Google the name and go on that journey and explore for yourself the wonders that he is. He is just an incredible artist. He musician, all above. And he gave me a call one night. And the irony of it is me looking him up because he's worked with different producers and people that we've both crossed paths with. And I looked this record up one day and he had another record, this Motown record, where he played everything on it and everything, he's playing everything and then he raps on it. So I just totally just took the beat, took the song, jumped on the record, found me a little space, cut me a little space out and rapped on the record and sent it to him. And this was years ago, and we just created this relationship, this kinship, through that, just me being a fan of his. And then he reached out some months ago and was like, no, I would be honored if you would get on this record. I have a track in mind. It's called Salt, and I'm going to send it to you. And I mean, he sent it to me, and the record, he's always super, for lack of better terms, super impactful in the way that he presents himself on each record. It's something different. It's all him, but it's something different. So when I got the track and he was rapping about what he is, and it's basically who we are as a people, how people try to take who we are as a people and add it to themselves to make themselves better. From the ingredient of our salt, our ingredients, our flavor, if you will. We've been, giving flavor to the earth in so many different ways since the beginning of time. So it's just us talking about what we put into the culture, into the world as a people. So that's how the record came about. I mean, he had some incredible people on it, on the record, Chubb Rock, myself, Speech from Arrested Development. They're just, oh my God, how can I, and I'm wanting to call him someone else um, it'll come back to me. I'm having one of those moments where I want to say someone else, but long story short, he has an incredible record. He has an incredible career. So go on that journey and explore him.
Yeah, it's definitely powerful. And I like the, as you've done throughout your career, and we'll talk a lot about that today during our discussion. But the thing is of weaving the political stuff into it, the social awareness, social commentary into it.
Mhm.
So given that that's something you've been doing since the 90s up till today, why is that something that's still so important and so valuable for you as an artist?
Because it's needed. It's unfortunately really still needed. And I mean, I think everybody in their own way, maybe everybody doesn't do it via song, but everybody, lends their voice to something at some point in time to try and combat the adversities that we face in the world when it comes to social change or social justice or just in everyday life of being people and trying to create a better planet. We lend our voices in some way, but me, with music being one of my strongest voices, I feel it's my responsibility to use my craft, my responsibility to continue to use my craft, because that's my loudest voice. That's the voice that I can reach the most people with. So that's it's just in me. I have a mantra, something that I live by is don't just rap, say something. We all have a voice. You don't have to do music in order to say something, but you have a voice. So when you have the ability, the audience of one, say something to that one person that might be a ripple, a pebble in the water that creates a ripple, that creates change.
Absolutely. And now taking it back, I think that really you were able to manifest that immediately with your career with 5 o'clock. So
Yeah.
looking back on it, I wanted you to explain the first of all the concept for the song for people that are familiar with it if they don't remember, like how and why did you have that concept to want to do a 5 o'clock in the morning?
So it was because I was up literally at 5 o'clock in the morning. So during that time, I was a letter carrier. I was a mail lady, and I had to be at work at 6. So I was out at 5, and you would see it. This is the time of people standing on the corner for real. Selling. What they're doing is out there selling drugs, buying drugs, what have you. And I would see this, and I remember just sitting at a stoplight, and I was like, I hope that I never see one of my nephews or anybody in my family out here selling or buying drugs. And drugs, it touches every family. It continues to touch every family. It doesn't matter what your nationality is. Nothing. It's in the fabric of who we are. But it's just not something that you want to see. So that's where it came from. I was sitting at the light. I was like, Dad, I hope I never see one of my nephews out here selling drugs. So that's what it was. 5 o'clock in the morning. Where you gonna
Mm.
be? Outside
Yeah,
on the corner. Yeah.
yeah. And growing up in the area too, I definitely know when I'd be coming back late from the club, there were still plenty of people out. So I
Absolutely.
I know that it's not the same anymore. But that being said, in 1995, 96, rap had been on record for a long time at this point, more than a decade, about 15, 16 years at that point. And we
Mhm.
had a number of female rappers, of course, coming out saying important things. But you made a point, I remember on the song, as a black woman trying to get through. I remember that in your verse, and I was just like, I want you to explain why do you think it's so important because we had the Public Enemies and the Boogie Down Productions and the X Clans and the Brand Nubians. Why was it so important for you and your idea, your mind, writing to say this is coming from a black woman and I'm trying to get through? Why was that so important?
Because, we have historically, you have a lot of black women raising young black males. And it was coming from the point of view of I'm trying to get you young, I'm trying to get through to you before it's too late. So it is that nurturing thing going on from I feel like every black woman feels this in a sense, even if you don't have children, you feel the nurturing in you when you see young black children. So there is that coming from this is I'm just a black woman trying to get through to a young black man. That's what it is. I at the time didn't have any children, but I still had that nurturing thing of I'm trying to catch you young. I'm trying to, maybe I'm not your mother, but I am your sister, I'm your aunt, I'm that person in your life. Even though you're a stranger, I still see you as a part of my family, and I don't want you to go down this road. So, definitely a black woman can't take the place of a black man, and we don't want to take the place of a black man, but we know how powerful a mother is, or a mother figure is, to any child, not just let alone a black child, but to any child. So that's where it was coming from I am your mom, your sister, your aunt, that person that you love and look up to, and I'm just trying to get through to you before it's too late.
Mm-hmm. Because
The irony of that, I don't mean to cut you off, but the irony of that is the young man in the video, Jay, is my nephew, is my real nephew in real life. So even though, I'm talking to him as my sister, you know what I mean? Um, he's still my nephew. And he's one of the people I didn't want to see on the corner, ever want to see that.
yeah, no, because I was always wondering if that in the video you portray him as your brother. So I was always curious
Hmm.
if he really was. So interesting.